Hello there Vault Dwellers, this is Grand Theft Bomb here, going over Vault 77 and the lore behind the vault itself. This vault was constructed in a small cave, but is not known when the construction of Vault 77 began. The purpose of Vault 77 and the vault experiments was to be populated by one man and a crate full of puppets, labelled P13X, US government issue puppet ration. As a study of the human condition in near complete isolation, with a crate of puppets modelled after living beings as sole company. The vault door was designed to close automatically when the only Vault 77 dweller entered, and only to reopen months later. The Vault 77 dweller, later known as the Puppet Man, entered the vault on the 23rd of October 2077 when the Great War began. At the 1 hour mark, he was pounding on the vault door and shouting to anyone who might be listening that they had forgotten all the other vault dwellers. By March 23rd, 2078, he had been reduced to sitting in front of the vault door and sobbing. On February 4th, 2079, he discovered and began to inspect the crate of puppets. By February 23rd, he had begun to act out simple scenes with these puppets, and by March 30th, 2079, he had created full roles and histories for them, the dog being named Reverend Hound, and serving as both sheriff and part-time reverend, and another grandmother puppet, which he named Grandma, after celebrating the birthday of the king with Grandma on this day. But before going to bed, a Vault Boy puppet that he'd been missing earlier began to talk to him, probably a side effect of his isolation and descent into insanity, which the other puppets did not. One morning, in 2079, the king was found dead, its head torn off in an act of regicide. When the Puppet Man confronted the most likely suspect, the Vault Boy puppet told him they had, in fact, done it together and must flee before Reverend Hound came for them. The Puppet Man, accompanied by the Vault Boy puppet, opened the vault door, which was no longer locked, only to find a giant rad scorpion holding a car in each claw. Faced with this, he decided to sleep on it, before proceeding. By December 2079, the Puppet Man had managed to leave Vault 77 along with the Vault Boy puppet and a giant ant, which he takes as a mount in the wasteland. Vault 77 thereafter was abandoned. Why was this man left in this vault by himself with a crate of puppets as a sick experiment? What was Vault Tech trying to achieve? Testing a man's mental capacity with a crate of puppets in order for him to create a reality in his head in a vault where he would then be drove insane by his own devilish acts. A Vault 77 jumpsuit can be found in Paradise Falls in Fallout 3, alongside an audio recording of an obviously worried slaver, saying how it scares the others and should be burnt. They found a Vault 77 jumpsuit, and that he may come back for it. The slavers obviously fear him, hinting that they may belong to the vault dweller who killed the slavers who captured him. The jumpsuit appropriately boosts one's melee and armed skills, given these were the Puppet Man's ways of murdering, by removing the heads of his victims. There is also a Vault 77 webcomic called One Man and the Crate of Puppets. The holotape recording can be heard here.
Like I told you, man, I don't fucking know where it came from, but it freaks the boys out. Some story from a while back about a stranger with no name. Just get rid of the damn thing. Ain't no good gonna come from keeping it around. Besides, if it is his, maybe he'll come back for it. Comprende?
And as you heard from the slaver, he sounds pretty worried about having this jumpsuit in his possession. Is he in fact scared that the Vault Boy puppet and the crazed man riding his ant are going to come for him and take his head off as well? Vault 77 has the most controversial history out of all the vaults that I've read about so far. Vault 77 is by far my favourite, as Puppet Man is a genuinely scary character who you have never seen, met, you have only heard of. Just like the Slender Man, for example. An urban legend that was created on creepypasta, and therefore was told by other creepypastas in a different way, each more scary than the last. This specific story that was told by Bethesda and made into a webcomic could in fact be twisted into a creepypasta, making this Vault 77 story even more sinister. Having a man run around the wasteland with a Vault Boy puppet, and if you bumped into him in the dead of night in Fallout 3 listening to your Galaxy News radio music, you would almost certainly shit your pants. That's the kind of fear that this specific character in this game gives any player. specifically myself. And with that, it shows that Vault-Tec had a sadistic aim from having this man locked in this vault. Although he wasn't meant to be stuck in that vault for very long, it's clear that he was, due to the fact that he is mentioned and feared in Fallout 3, which happened 200 years after the Great War. The fact that he is even mentioned and feared at this point in time relates to him maybe turning into a ghoul and surviving for those many years. Could it be that the Puppet Man now is a ghoul, and now has another puppet head? Or could it be he periodically returns back to Vault 77 to visit his other puppet friends? The Puppet Man as a character is by far the most interesting and intricate of them all. He has no story other than the one I've just read, and other than the one I've just explored. So what can we gather from this? The fact that he still lives in Fallout 3 200 years after the Great War, so a human's lifespan is not 200 years, unless irradiated and turned into a ghoul. And with that, I want you guys to tell me in the comments how long you think this man has lived for, and why he has lived that long. Speculation can be found in the comments, and I'd like people to give me their opinions on this story. I'd like to hear what you guys think. So please leave a comment in the comment section down below, as I've said like several times so far, and let me read exactly what it is or what stories you guys come up with. I'm more than happy to make my own story of Vault 77 based on the story Bethesda wrote, giving myself a general idea of what this man has actually achieved and why he is so feared among the Wasteland. Although that is limited to the fact of writing in the game made by Bethesda, the Vault 77 Dweller is still by far the most sinister character that I have ever read about. And the fact that only one puppet manages to physically speak to the man further twists the story and makes you see into the mind of this man. That in fact a Vault puppet is managing to speak to him. And yes, that is his insanity, which is more interesting than the story itself. But thank you guys for watching. This video was more about the lore and about the man in the vault and where he is and what he's doing now. Could we hear about him in Fallout 76? Could there be more stories? Could we bump into him on his giant ant? We'll just have to see. But thank you guys for watching this video, and if you did enjoy it, please leave a like and don't forget to hit the bell and the subscribe button in order to keep up to date with all lore videos. I will be doing more videos like this as often as I possibly can, so thank you guys for watching and enjoy the rest of your night.